After I made that video yesterday about the Louise Frenchie McBuckface, I plan to come out and do something else. Come on to talk about how it seems, or it appears anyway, that a lot of honey traps that have been set over the years for people are starting to close. Seem to be entering a phase where they're rug pulling on people who have, gathered around different internet celebrities or of the right-wing nature of the politically disenfranchised nature. Like they're trying to they're trying to round people up, basically at this point. But I ended up taking some plant medication too. Whoa, what do you mean, whoa, he's driving a bike behind me? How the fuck am I supposed to hear him coming behind me? You're not supposed to be riding a bike on here. You get ticketed for it. Precisely for what just happened there. That little creep with the pedo hair came up behind me on a bike. I don't expect bikes to come up behind me. Whatever. I'm not gonna let it bother me. I ended up taking some plant medication, which I don't take all that often, And when I do, it's usually of the edible variety. But I had a friend that was going to pick some up, and I'm like, yeah, grab me something. The other kind, not the edible kind, because I don't usually, I don't do that often. And it's nice sometimes because I feel like, and I understand the whole be sober because not the hour of the day thing. I definitely take that seriously. But sometimes you could be just sitting contemplating a box and you're only seeing that one side that you're facing, and then sometimes you can take a little bit of plant medication and your perspective shifts just a little bit to the right or the left, so now you can see more than that one side. That's kind of what it's like. It helps creatively too. In some ways, it helps to make you think a little bit differently and put your perspective in a little bit of a different place. Yesterday, it gave me too much fucking perspective, and I got extremely paranoid. And I started thinking like, oh shit, what's in all these videos I'm doing? Every day I'm doing a video and putting all this stuff out there. And I know there's not a lot of people watching, but all it takes is the wrong set of eyes. And I start freaking myself out into this paranoid mania where I just ended up staying inside. And like at one point, like, I'm just gonna stay inside for a couple of days, to like not even go outside, to throw people off the trail if they're following me. When I was younger and I used to smoke a lot, older people would always tell me they don't do it. I'd hear it a lot from older people, like, I don't do that anymore because it makes me paranoid. What do you mean it makes you paranoid? I never understood it. Now that I'm older, I do. And the strength of this stuff is a lot different than when I was a kid. I like your average CIA Mexican dirtweed. I know what I'm getting. Today it's like, all right, do you want to be relaxed? Do you want to be productive? Do you want to feel like you just broke up with your girlfriend or graduated from high school? It's like there's too many fucking, I don't know. I want to get high? Yeah, but what kind of high do you want to get? I don't know, it's like and the prices on this stuff too. It's like, pot at cocaine prices, as my friend would call it. So yeah, I just from observing things, it feels like they're in a stage now where they're trying to close up these sort of honeypots that they got people in. And I think the Trump thing, where the Mar-a-Lago thing, was the beginning of this, of what they want to do to just normal citizens. Like, use this as an excuse to start launching operations against extremism or extreme groups in the U.S. This was always the plan, to get rid of the people that would cause problems or that may have any kind of dissent. And that's why I've always told people, don't sign up for anything. Like a lot of these guys, a lot of them are compromised. You know, a lot of them are just actors, you know. Even the guys that have a couple 100,000, you never know, you know. So, yeah, I think this was the begin. This is the kind of like the shotgun, whatever, the starting gun, shotgun starting gun. That'd be pretty funny. Starting the race with a shotgun. That's the Leonard Skinner's 500. Yeah, so I think we're going to start seeing a lot of these honey traps close. And there are guys that I've signed up for stuff too, like Matt over at Quantum Conscience. He made his own site a couple years ago. And I signed up for his other site to hit the board, you know. But even that, like, you don't want to do anything like that. Because that's how they get you. There are guys that have the perfect setup. There was this one guy who was an ex-fan of one of these right-leaning guys, or a freedom guy, and I don't want to, you know, I don't know if it's real, so I'm not going to go into it of who it was, but he claims that he's a glowy, and he outlined his whole situation with his fans and how they keep track of the people that send them stuff or sign up to things or emails, and they had different levels of severity for the people, those closest to him that maybe donated money, this whole thing. And is it true? I don't know. It sounds pretty convincing the way this guy laid it out. He could just be like a, you know, someone that felt wronged by this person and is out to get them. But it was pretty fucking thorough, and it sounded really good to me. Like, not really good, but it sounded incredibly possible. And he was juxtaposing this individual against individuals in the past who led these sort of glow operational groups of people that then get turned in. And he was pointing out how the leader always gets away because the leader is one of them, you know. Sorry. So, like, the leader will get charged, he'll get arrested, and then he'll get let go on a technicality. All the guys closest to him will get arrested, and then they'll have different levels of what to do to certain people. And then the whole thing serves as an example to, you know, normies and other citizens that, you know, you can't engage in this kind of wrong thing. And of course they'll say it was, you know, white supremacy and Nazism and all this kind of thing. But he was suggesting, and I agree with this hypothesis, that this is, or hypotheses, I agree with his hypotheses. They're coming to a place where they're going to start closing these honey traps. The timeline of how they're trying to do these things, and the timeline involves everything with the jibber jabber, all this other type of stuff, buying up houses under 500 grand. All these things kind of coalesce as part of the evil plan. As we've seen, like, they're not super competent. As someone had pointed out, they've inherited this system of control, and a lot of them aren't as good at it as the previous groups. But there's some stuff that's just automatic, that's set up. They're kind of foolproof, you know. And this being one of them, the way they, it's, you know, you've seen this kind of thing happen in other countries before their collapse. And it's, you know, it's not something to worry about too much because it's unpredictable. Like, you don't know how extreme it's going to be, you know, how soon it's going to be. You know, I used to think, like, You know, there'll be a time when I, can't listen to someone like Joe Rogan. I don't listen to him anyway, but I mean, something like that. Like, they're going to start looking at people who listen to, like, right-wing talk show hosts or something. That time is now. It's, I'd always wonder what that dystopian future would look like. It looks like this, because we're there. So just, be aware. If you signed up to stuff, what are you going to do? Just don't sign up to anything else. And be vigilant, man. Ultimately, though, you're probably going to have to go through some bad times. As if you're on Team God and you're a follower of Christ, shit's going to get bad for you. I almost feel like how when Christ sacrificed himself for us, it's going to be our turn to sacrifice for him, because we're going to be asked at some point in some fashion if we are a believer or a follower, whether that's just in passing social media, or when rubber really hits the road and they got you in the guillotine line and they're like, are you a follower of Christ, right? You're going to have to look him in the eye and say, I am he. And then get walked off to the Alice Cooper machine. It's how it is. It's okay, though. Nothing they can do to you here really matters. This place, it's like almost like, I hate using computer analogies because there's so many of them that people use about this place, but it's like playing a fucking 8-bit Nintendo game. And they got the scariest, most horrific thing that 8 bits can conjure to come after you or to happen to you, whether it's a giant monster or, you get your foot cut off in 8-bit. What's up, Dale? It's like something like that. How's it going, buddy? Not bad. So, but that's the most they can do to you. So when you think about the things that can happen to you here, it's just like that. It's like the worst thing they can do to you here really isn't anything, because it's just a comparative to what you are, what you come from, where you really belong, what your real home is. This is nothing. You may get, and I know it's hard for people to hear that. They don't want to hear that, especially a lot of these guys that, want to fight back in some way or form militias. I mean, you can do that if you want, but that's not the way to victory. There's no victory for us. That's the thing. That's the thing that sucks. We're here to endure. We're here to endure. And you may get dragged out of your house. You may get, walk to the Alice Cooper machine. You may get any number of horrible things happen to you. But that's all right. It's okay. It's meant to happen. God wins in the end, man. They know that. They know that. I think we're just here to do our part. And you can't fight back with aggression. You can't aggress back on them. They own that. There's no way you can do that. No way you can do it. The only answer is within, in your own serenity, quiet reflection. And what's going to happen is going to happen. But that's not a very attractive, very uplifting thing for people to hear. So it's a tough one. Don't blame the teacher. Blame the school.